Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And this is the Viewers Anonymous podcast. What's going on with you, my boy?
You know what I'm saying? I'm good, man. I'm good. Another day podding.
Man, I'm feeling great, bro. Besides the rain we've been getting all day out here, I've been having a good day.
Good deal. We had a little midday shower. It wasn't too bad. It said my phone told me that morning it was supposed to rain from 1 to 4, but we probably got like 15, 20 minutes of rain. And it was out of here. So I was grateful for that, man. Like everybody always talk about, oh man, I wish I could be outside like y'all FedEx drivers. Like, yeah, y'all say that when it ain't raining. So, but when it's raining, they be like, I feel for you, man. It's nasty out there.
For sure.
But yeah, man. So another good day, man. So I can't complain.
For sure, man. It's like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been on and off, you know what I'm saying, like crazy. So, you know, you can't really do too much about it.
Oh, hell no. And nothing you can do about it, man. Shit, people get paid a lot of you on TV, man. And when it comes to the meteorologists, man, they just be saying shit and never lose their job. Be wrong 90% of the time, and people bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. So, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? It's another, you know what I'm saying? This is the second episode of the week, and you already know how we do, man. We get into our what we watching. Soundboard is still down, y'all, so bear with us. But let's get into it, man. What have you been watching that's new?
That's new. So I wanted to talk to you about one thing that I'm watching, but the new thing that I'm watching, man, is a show. I didn't expect for it to be what it is. From the trailers, they didn't really get into this one part of it, but I watched the first episode. It is it's an FX show, you know what I'm saying? I got it on Hulu. The show I was telling you about with Andrew Garfield. Yeah. And it's called Under the Banner of Heaven. And basically what it is from the first episode is that there's a very gruesome crime. A wife is dead, and a baby, I think it was 6 months, 8 months. I can't remember how old the baby was, but it was decapitated, head chopped off. They go into the house, one of the worst crime scenes I ever seen, blood everywhere. And then the husband shows up. He's blood everywhere, all the type of stuff. So he's the suspect. So they take him to interrogate him. And he's going on and on about these stories, telling these stories about how they are in Utah and dealing with the Mormons. The husband, he has like 4 brothers or something like that, and all of them got at least 3-4 kids. Like, it's a huge Mormon family. Like the girl that was murdered, she was originally from Idaho, and she went. The reason she was in Utah is because she went to BYU. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff. But like, so basically, it's just Andrew Garfield is playing this detective, and his partner is an Indian guy. He's originally from another place, so he's not really like, they don't like, he don't understand like the Mormons and all of that type stuff. So it's a murder investigation, but they're throwing in this Mormon stuff, and it's kind of, you know what I mean? I didn't see that in the preview. So like I said, I only got one episode in. So I gotta see where this takes me, man, because like basically like what this dude is doing, like why he's being interrogated, like they showing you the story of the lead up of what's going on and all this type stuff. So
yeah,
it's pretty all right, man. But you mentioned a couple of episodes back, and I'm also watching the show as well. You mentioned Atlanta, and what they're doing with this show, man, is crazy, man. Because I think that you have to kind of know about some things that's been going on for a while. In this last episode, you know what I'm saying? They had my boy Chetana, you know what I'm saying? From the Golden Globes, you know? Hey, yeah, listen. So if people don't know what I'm talking about, like, so this was like 2 years ago. And Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, was at the Golden Globes talking in patois or whichever one he was doing.
Yeah.
And like everybody was making fun of him, but they were like, yo, Chet is out here living his best life, yo. So for them to take a clip of him doing that shit like 2 years ago and put this shit in the show and say that this dude babysitter was this damn woman that died and he's talking that way, and the people are like, yo, like your accent is pretty good, you know, like where you from? Well, they asked where you from, and he told them. They were like, wait a minute, like why you sound like that? I just thought that was genius. Of all the people, they could have put anybody in there, and they put Chet Hanks in there because he was being funny at the damn Golden Globes. Yo, that is genius, yo. I just had to mention that because you already talked about it on what we're watching, but just for them to do like these episodes where you with Earn and Paperboy and them, and then they'll give you, because I think it's been two episodes they haven't even been in. So I just thought that
it's been
is
three.
It 3? I think it's 3. I think it is 3. And I just think what they're doing, man, like that's really dope. But shout out to Chet Hanks, man. You know what I'm saying? That dude is wild.
Yeah, and the dope version of it is like it's showing you this like weird alternate reality where like shit work out for black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it looked like if shit worked out for black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? The first episode that they did for this season was about I forgot what the family was called, but the kids who got, you know what I'm saying, basically murdered by the lesbian couple. You know what I'm saying? The white lesbian couple. They, you know what I'm saying, took them for a ride and then they just drove off the fucking bridge into the water and killed everybody in the car. And then the second one was about reparations, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude sued somebody, and the next thing you know, they was just suing motherfuckers because, you know what I'm saying, they family members were slave masters and shit. So I thought that was dope. And then the recent one where the little boy had the West Indian nanny, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, what I thought was dope about that episode specifically was the fact that, you know, his parents were so busy, you know what I'm saying, trying to provide this life for him and do everything for him that they really didn't have time for him. And the whole time he was really being raised by his nanny. So the stuff that he was talking about and doing when they finally had a chance to, you know what I'm saying, take over and actually have him, they were so confused because they didn't understand, like, you know, what is all this that this boy is doing and talking about. And, you know what I'm saying, he ate the spicy curry and, like, you know what I'm saying, he was so used to being with her and learning her traditions, you know, that, you know, they were and then they were always gone and they were always absent. So finally, when they had a chance to really clash, like, you kind of seen that you could tell they knew that they were spending too much time away from him because, you know what I'm saying, he didn't really have, you know what I'm saying, them in his life. And then on top of that, like, they didn't really know nothing about him for real.
Nah, man, he had to teach his mama how to rub his back.
You know what I'm saying?
He was like, you know what I'm saying, she does it this way.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, that was a very interesting episode. So, yeah, shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Childish Gambino and, you know what I'm saying, LaKeith Stanfield and Brian Tyree Henry and Zazie Beetz. They doing their thing right now with Atlanta. It's I know a lot of people been saying that they don't like the show because, you know, they don't understand what's really going on. But for me, I think that, you know what I'm saying, the artistic vision that they have with this show is genius. And I think that later on down the line, we'll be able to be having think pieces and conversations about it. And really, it's a lot of it going on now, but later on down the line, for sure, I'm saying, there's going to be think pieces and conversations that, I'm saying, they're going to have about this show that's going to be really prominent at the time. But what we watching, man, is just one. I woke up last night around like 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. I had fell asleep early and couldn't find nothing on TV, couldn't go back to sleep. And went on Hulu and went under the Fox section and saw a show that I was supposed to watch when it originally came out, but apparently I missed it. And I had mentioned this on an episode, I want to say around like maybe January. But it's The Cleaning Lady, starring Elodie Young. And if you don't know who she is, she played Elektra in the Daredevil series, the Daredevil Marvel series on Netflix, and then she played the actual Elektra character as well on the Elektra series and on Netflix. Mm-hmm. But man, let me tell you something. This show is great. Okay, so it's about this lady. Her and her sister-in-law live in this house with their kids, and they're illegal immigrants. And they, like they do like maid jobs around Las Vegas. Well, one night she goes to this one spot that she usually clean up for where they do like illegal fights. And the dude that run the spot ends up getting killed and she sees it. So they end up finding her and then they about to kill her, but she tell them like, yo, don't kill me. I could clean that up for you and they'll never know this happened. So, she basically, they give her a chance. She clean up the spot, spick and span, brand new. So they like, okay, cool. Well, her son has an autoimmune disease. I think that's what autoimmune deficiency or autoimmune disease or something like that. So she's trying to figure out a way to basically get him the proper medical attention so he can be cured, right? Mm-hmm. Well, she ends up working for the dude that killed the illegal fight dude. And she ends up working for like this Armenian mob boss, but like her direct boss is this dude that's from Mexico. He ended up getting taken in by the Armenian mob boss. So like they end up like kind of falling in love, but kind of not falling in love. But it's a great show, bro. Then like her husband is overseas. He's trying to get a visa to come over there with them. And it's a bunch of stuff going on. It's a bunch of crazy stuff. She going through a whole bunch of stuff, dealing with, her son and then dealing with the mob. And then at the same time, she get caught by the FBI and they using her as an informant. So now they playing ping pong back and forth with her. Like it's a great show. To me, it reminds me of The Blacklist. As far as everything that's going on, it's a bunch of like underworld stuff going on, and then on top of that, it's a bunch of government stuff going on with it. But Elodie Young does a great job playing the role of, I think her name is Tony in this one. And excuse me, she just, you could tell she really has, stepped her game up from Elektra. And she was dope as hell in Elektra. I thought it was gonna be like she was gonna be like this secret agent lady that was just like using the maid as a cover up because she worked for the government, but it's totally something different. So, it's called The Cleaning Lady. It's on Fox. Season 1 is done. They have renewed it for season 2, so I'm waiting for season 2 to come out. I got 2 episodes left. I cannot wait for this show, bro. This show is very good. So y'all go check that out. If y'all got Hulu or if y'all got Fox on Demand, it's called The Cleaning Lady. Go check that out. So, you guys already know what movie we doing. So it's really no need to try to get into that. But, we're going to do it anyway. We're doing Get Out, man. This is a very interesting movie. Came out 2017. The director is Jordan Peele, of Mad TV fame, also of Key and Peele fame. Pretty well-known comic. Does a lot of comedic stuff. And this is his first directorial debut. Mm-hmm. A lot of people was questioning whether or not it was going to be good, what type of movie he was going to do. They didn't know he was going to do a horror. And it was a lot. I don't want to say controversy, but it was a lot of there's a lot of whisperings around this movie. You know what I'm saying? This was nobody really expected this to come from him, but he ended up pulling it off, and he did a great job. But basically, the movie is about a young black man who has a white girlfriend, goes off to her parents' house to visit the family. Basically, he finds out that the family is shifting the consciousness and the brains of young black people in older white people into younger black people's body. So let me rephrase it. Let me reset that. So they're taking the brains and the consciousness of old white people and shifting them into younger black bodies. That way they don't die off as early as they should. And basically they're trying to find a way to continue life without dying. So this was a very interesting movie. You know what I'm saying? The movie is starring Daniel Kaluuya. It's starring LaKeith Stanfield, starring Little Rel Howery. It is also starring Erica Alexander. You may know her from Living Single. And it's also starring Allison Williams and Catherine Keener. So, Get Out, man. Do you remember when this joint came out?
I do, man. I remember it very vividly, man, because, you know what I'm saying, at the time I was married to a white woman. So you know, I seen it and I completely understood it, because once I seen it and then people was like, what? This movie is classified under horror? And I'm like, yeah, you got to be black to understand it. Like, it's not a white horror movie. Like this is definitely a horror movie for black people, especially black people who date white women.
Yeah.
So it was so when I first seen it, man, like I could only think about like, yo, like this shit literally could have happened to me. Like I talked about this on the Coming Soon. I was like, yo, like, you know, I went to a listen, the city of Kaiser is so small, my guy, that my ex-wife was actually born in Cumberland, Maryland, because the hospital is so small they couldn't birth babies there.
Oh, wow.
That's how small the town is.
Damn.
So, like, I was in a small town, West Virginia, you know what I'm saying? And, like, going and, like I said, I'm, like, the only black person in all the rooms, like, all that type shit. So, like, when I first seen it, I'm like, yo, like this shit is wild. Like, it's really, really wild. And to think that somebody like Jordan Peele was the one to put it together, because see, I was never a huge fan. Not that I wasn't a huge fan. I just never got into Key and Peele. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that I didn't like it or didn't like it. It was just, I just didn't really spend my time watching it. So when I seen it and I heard everybody talking about it, it was like, yo, this guy is a comedy, you know, savant. Like this really came out of nowhere. So watching it and getting my first impressions of it, like I'm like, yo, like this is wild. And seeing it then in 2017, and then like going back and watching it for this pod, I know we both kind of say this a lot. It's like when you're watching it to enjoy it, you're watching it to enjoy it, but then like when you're kind of watching it knowing you're gonna pick some stuff out and kind of break some shit down, you kind of notice some shit that you didn't notice before. So, you know, watching it this time, I picked up on some different shit, picked up on some different game. But what about for you, man? I mean, the first time you seen this, like, how did you feel about it? What was your first impressions of it?
So when I first, you know what I'm saying, heard about this and when it came out, I was kind of on the fence, you know what I'm saying? I knew who Jordan Peele was, of course, because, you know me, I'm the comedy guy. So I used to watch Saturday Night Live and Mad TV all the time as a kid. And then once Chappelle Show went off of Comedy Central and they got Key and Peele, knowing who they were from Mad TV, I would, you know what I'm saying, watch Key and Peele as much as I could. And then eventually I just start watching the clips on YouTube. And so basically that was just, you know what I'm saying, like just the thing that I would do. And, you know what I'm saying, check him out through there. So when I finally heard that he was actually directing a movie and then it was going to be a horror movie, I can't lie, I was interested, but at the same time, it was like, I don't really know where he's going to go with this. Maybe he's going to do like, you know what I'm saying, a scary movie type parody or something like that. So when I finally heard that it was actually going to be a real horror movie, I got a little bit more interested in it. And then not only that, like seeing it for the first time, you know what I'm saying? I know you saying like dating white women, you know what I'm saying, it's more relatable. But I mean, just for me in general, it's relatable because we've all, even if we haven't dated a white woman, we've all been, I don't want to say we all, but a lot of us have been the only black person in the room. You know what I'm saying? And you know how that feels. You know the awkwardness and the uncomfortableness, if that's a word, the discomfort. There you go, the discomfort in being in those rooms, and not necessarily because, you know, of, you know, just everybody being white, but just, you know, how society is. You know, it's just something that's ingrained in you from childhood to adulthood, with the way society is, with you know what I'm saying, learning through history and everything else about, you know what I'm saying, race relations. So being the only black person in that, you know what I'm saying, vicinity, it's kind of awkward, you know. And then a lot of times you don't want to be the only one in anything. Like even being not for me, but most people, being a guy in an all-female room, it's kind of awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, or being a woman in an all-male room, that's kind of awkward. You know what I'm saying? Or even a white person being in an all-black room, even that's kind of awkward. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being the only one somewhere is super awkward. And then not only that, like, you don't have a real connection to the outside world, because there was a lot of stuff in this movie that was happening to him to where he really couldn't, you know what I'm saying, link up with nobody. So, you know what I'm saying, that was a little weird for him too. So seeing that, it was definitely kind of relatable for me, you know what I'm saying, outside of the dating white woman thing.
Yeah, like I definitely felt him. Especially that party scene, like that whole party scene, he was like so uncomfortable, and it's like, yo, like I know that feeling, and then it's also that whole thing of like everybody's watching your temperament, and it's kind of like being in those rooms, especially like, you know, me going up there and like meeting like her aunts on her mom's side and her dad's side and all that type of shit, and everybody's looking at it like, you know what I'm saying, y'all up here, I got this mixed baby, and everybody's trying to see like, what does this dude like? You know what I mean? You fucking my niece. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And it's kind of awkward, man. Like looking at them and seeing how they're looking at me, but then just also seeing situations that I've been through and actually seeing it in the movie. Like for instance, like when they're driving to her parents' house and she hit the deer, and so the whole cop thing.
Yep.
Right. So this is what happened to me with my ex-wife. So I'm going, and it's granted heavy drug area, a lot of drugs being sold in this area. So I went to go pick up my nephew from my cousin's house. So I pull up, and I said, I get out the car. When I get out the car, I see 12 go past. So I run in, like, yo, I come to pick up my nephew. They're like, he just ran to the store. They're like, if you hurry up, you can catch him because he with my cousin Red. So I come back to the car. Like I say, you know what I'm saying? I you know what I mean? When you there, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm telling her, like, listen. I said, now this is a true story, dude. I would not lie about this.
No, I believe you.
I'm like, listen, we're going to go down the road. We're going to bust this right. I said, they're going to pull us over. She's like, the fuck out of here. I'm like, listen to me. When I bust this right, they're going to pull us over. So I like, just be cool. So, you know what I'm saying? Go up the road, bust the right. hit the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So she look at me like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. And this is like either her first or second time being down here. Because I'm still in college at this point. This is either spring break or this is summer break.
Yeah.
So I pull over. Cop got the car. He comes up. And he says, do you know why I pulled you over? I says, no, sir. He said, you swerved in the middle of the lane. I said, yeah, because there's potholes all over this road. I was like, you know, I'm swerving to Mr. Potholes. He tell me, well, you swerved too far, right? So he was like, true story. So he's like, listen, I'm gonna need you to get out of the car, put your hands on the hood. So I get out the car, put my hands on the hood. You give me the pat down, and then he's like, is there anything in the car that shouldn't be in the car? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, stay there, keep your hands on the hood. So he walks around the car. And he goes to her. And I told her,
stay cool.
Pull us over. Be cool. So he walks over. Ma'am, can I see your driver's license? This motherfucker. I don't have to show you shit. I'm like, I'm going to jail. And she's like, I ain't got to show you shit. I got a minor in motherfucking criminal justice. I ain't got to show you nothing. No, this shit. And I'm like, man, I just told her to be cool. I'm like, man, here we go. So, like, seeing that situation where the cop he had already she gave him her license. And he asked for, what's my man's name? Asked for Chris' license. And Chris, he know the deal. He pull out the license like, I just got an ID, but here we go. And she was like, what for? He wasn't driving. And it's just like, he like, yo, like, it's cool. You know, ain't no big deal. And she was like, nah, it ain't cool. And I'm like, and now, don't get me wrong, she's right. But when you're black, we don't want no trouble.
Yeah, man. And see, and that's the for me, that was one of the dope things about this movie is that how it showed all the vast differences of cultures, right? So even when you had just said like you had your hands on the hood, you was straight, he patted you down, wasn't nothing going on. As soon as he went to go talk to her and she spazzed out, first thing you thought was, oh, I'm going to jail. You ain't even doing shit. But you just know, you know what I'm saying? You got that ingrained in your head, like, man, if she trip out, bro, I'm gonna be the one going down. So you know what I'm saying? Like for that to happen, and I think like in that scene, like that's the same thing he was on. Like, yo, like, yeah, you gonna be cool, nigga. He's gonna come after me. Like, I'm gonna be the one getting fucked up in this scenario, not you. Keep this shit cool, relax.
Exactly. And then she ended up eventually showing him anyway. And then he's like, okay, why you got a West Virginia ID and he got a South Carolina ID? So then she's like, well, look, we, you know what I'm saying, we home for break from college. Like, we go to college together. And so then, like, his whole demeanor kind of changed. He's like, okay. He was like, so you from here, like, where did you go to school? And I'm like, hands still on the hood. I'm like, I went to Greer. And now he want to be Mr. Nice Cop all of a sudden. Oh, well, you probably won't like me because I'm a volunteer coach at Burns High School. And I told you Burns was our rival school. Yeah. I'm like, I don't give a shit about none of that shit, man. I'm trying to pick up my nephew and go home, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but it was just like, and dude, that shit happened to me before. I had got me and her on our way back to school, got pulled over in Virginia, and dude pulled me over, and he's like, "What are you?" Very first question. Then asked me, "How you doing?" Hey, fuck you, nothing.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Virginia? I'm like, man, I'm on my way back to school. He was like, school? Like, where you go to school? I'm like, I go to Fairmont State University. He's like, oh, okay. So I guess that means that I was a model citizen because I'm a college student. And then, like, he just kind of, like, switched up. Like, even his voice even changed. He didn't even sound the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, it's like I'm automatically – and, dude, this happens all the time. Like, I'm on the interstate all the time, man. I see Georgia, Florida tag. They just automatically pull you over. You know what I'm saying? Because they think you transporting drugs or some shit. So seeing that situation, dude, it related with me so much because it was like, yo, I've been through that. Like, I've been through that. Like, even though they technically are right, but they don't get the whole thing of like, yo, this situation can go completely left simply because I'm black. And I know that you feel that what you're doing is right. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, yo, like us as black people, we just want this interaction to go as smoothly and as quickly as possible. Right. So like I felt that scene so much, and like watching it again, like damn, like man, that shit is so relatable, man. But like that was one of the things about this movie that I think that that people, if you never been in it, like you can relate to it. But I think that when you like actually have been in that situation, I viewed that totally different to like that scene to me really did something to me because I've been in that situation personally. And it's just like, yo, like this is wild. Like to actually put this in a movie, like I think that the vision that Jordan Peele had, I thought that was really dope, man. Like, I know for some people who have seen this movie, they probably never even really thought about that scene as being that important. But like for me, like that scene is crazy.
For sure, man. Like the one thing I related to the most was his relationship with Jeremy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Having that one white dude that want to test you because you know what I'm saying, he want to, you know what I'm saying, prove that he's the superior one because you know what I'm saying, if he get him a black dude, then he go around saying I will, you know, that type thing. Like, so I've been in those situations multiple times. You know what I'm saying. I used to live on the quote unquote white side of town where I'm from. We call it the east side. I used to live out there, and it'd be white dudes like all day long. Like that was their goal in life, was to fight a black dude just so they can claim that they're tough. You know what I'm saying? Just so they could have that on their resume type thing. So like, or even if like, you know what I'm saying? Because out there, like they do a lot of imitation. So like a lot of them try to imitate being in the hood. And they really don't understand, like, our goal is never to be hood. Like, our goal is to get out of the hood. Like, that's always how we've been. We've never been on some, I'm going to stay in the hood forever type shit. So, like, even when I would have conversations with them, it would be so funny because, like, they would approach me like that because of the way I dressed. But then, like, once I got to talking to them and, you know what I'm saying, like, I start talking about books and shit like that, then they was like, you know, you could tell, like, they got let down. Like, damn, man, I thought I had me one of them type, you know what I mean? But like, that's just because they truly didn't know me. Like, they don't know who I am or what I'm about. It's just, my thing is I'm always trying to make a great impression with people. You know what I mean? My first impression for me always has to be the best impression. And then on top of that, that kind of throw you off too. So, like, if we do end up scrapping and you get your ass whooped, like, you'll know, like, oh, okay, this motherfucker really can't fight. So, like, just being around those type of white dudes, man, is just so funny because it's like, it'll be some shit that you don't even be caring about for real. Like, they'll be talking about some stupid shit, like, if Jeezy is the best rapper, and you'll be like, Jeezy? Like, nah, I like Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z the best rapper. And then you break down how you think, you know what I'm saying, how you like this about rap and like that about rap. And they get talking to you like you don't know shit about rap. Like, sir, you just start listening to rap when you was like 16. I've listened to rap all my life. Relax. So, you know what I'm saying? Like dealing with that, like Jeremy's character really was the one that I could really relate to the most because it was just like, oh, yeah, I've seen this dude multiple times. Like, I know exactly how this is going to go. Like, he's going to be one of them dudes that he learned a little MMA, he want to fight you and shit and wrestle with you because, you know what I'm saying, he think he got an advantage on you. This maybe just all kind of weird shit. And it's so funny because it speaks so much to what my cousin likes to call white male fragility. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the actual term or anything yet, but if so, you know what I'm saying, y'all gotta pay my cousin. But it's white male fragility, you know, how they feel so inferior to, you know what I'm saying, black men, and you know, they get the bucking up at us like for no reason. Like, even when, you know what I'm saying, talking about like the police, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of times when the police are pulling us over, they feel so intimidated by us and they think that, you know what I'm saying, we all like these gang banging thugs that they don't even realize, like, nigga, I'm going to the library, sir. I'm not going to go get no goddamn cocaine. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, read a book, motherfucker. I got to go pay this bill off. I'm not worrying about shit like that. Like, one time I got pulled over, and, you know what I'm saying, the cop, older white dude, he pulled me over, and I'm telling him, like, man, I'm going to work. This motherfucker pulled me over because my muffler was too loud.
When they got that damn Fast and the Furious shit.
Nah, it was just a crack in the muffler. It wasn't nothing I could do about it at the time. I'm like, man, I got to go to work. And he like, well, with this muffler being loud like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, I can't get it fixed if I don't go to work. Motherfucker took me downtown. Unfortunately, I did have a suspended license and a warrant. So, you know what I'm saying? But just the fact that he pulled me over for like a loud muffler, like, come on, bro. Like I can hear the muffler. I'm not proud to have a loud muffler, my nigga. Like this isn't a racing car. It's a fucking like 90. It was like a 96 Cavalier.
Yeah,
it was barely a 4-door. Like, bro, nothing about this motherfucker is a racing car, bro. Like,
what is barely a 4-door?
That motherfucker is like a V2, bro. That motherfucker is horrible, man. I'm like, nothing about this motherfucker is. I'm like, sir, I just put $500 down to get a new engine put in this motherfucker. Let alone the motherfucking racing anything. Like, no, I just literally, it was on his third engine. You know what I'm saying? Like, the wires and shit was nigga rigged in the car. Like, everything about this car you could tell, bro, was just like horrible. And I'm on my way to work. I'm telling him, like, bro, I work in Vandalia. Like, I'm going to ASPM for work, bro. And he still put me over. I was like, man, some bullshit. So, I mean, just that white male fragility, bro. Just the fact that, like, they feel so inferior to you. They feel so, you know what I'm saying, less than, that they have to resort to violence or resort to tactics to make you feel less than, so they'll feel better about themselves. And it's those type of insecurities like that really stood out in the Jeremy character, to where, you know, Chris wasn't even that wasn't even the type of dude he was. Like, he was coming in being nice, shaking hands and shit.
He was
like,
a photographer, man.
That's what I'm saying. This nigga want to fight and wrestle. Like, man, get your goofy ass off me. Like, like, the fuck wrong with you, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, just that type of energy is just so it's weird to me. And then even with the dad, and I'm gonna hurry up and finish so I can let you go. But even with the dad, Dean, like, he still had that same white male fragility, but his was more passive than it was aggressive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell he was being like super sarcastic. He wasn't being like, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to be too cool, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be hip, like weird shit like that. I've even dealt with shit like that, like at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, older white dude come talk to you and they be trying to say like hip sayings or whatever. And I'll be like, man, that's not how you talk. Like, you know you don't say that. Like, walking up to you like, yo, what's up, son? First off, I'm not your son. We're not in New York. Yeah. Second, we not in New York, my boy. Like, that's not how we talk. Nobody has said that in I don't know how long. Nigga, the Wu-Tang is done with. Like, nobody talks like that no more. So, like, just dealing with those, you know what I'm saying, different types of, you know what I'm saying, insecurities and egos, and you know, they feel like you got on one half, you got them where they feel like they got to be buddy with you, you know what I'm saying, so they can stab you in the back. And then it's the other side where they feel like, oh, I got to, you know what I'm saying, I got to stand up to him because he you know what I'm saying, the big scary black guy. Like, it's just weird, man. And then it's another one too that I forgot. I forgot what character it was, but basically it's just the one that's just flat out like just don't give a fuck, just don't like you. And we've even run across that, like dudes be dropping off pallets at the job, you know what I'm saying? Because we use a lot of pallets and stuff. We use all those wooden pallets and stuff at our at work. And like dude just walked up, and mind you, it's me and like 3 other black dudes. We all sitting down on break. He just walk up like, you boys know something. And we all just looked up at him at the same time, like, fuck this motherfucker talking to. You don't know where you at. So you on the west side of Dayton, like you get beat the fuck up right now. I can make a phone call, get you beat the fuck up as you leaving out. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had to remind people of that a bunch of times while I've been at work. Like, sir, we not on the east side. We not out there in Xenia. Like we are on the west side of Dayton. Like I literally have family members right around the corner, and all I got to do is make a phone call. They'll be out here in like 3 minutes just to beat you up with me. Like, relax.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, I didn't fuck with Jeremy character. But Dean though, man, like you're right. Like he tried to be too cool, and I just felt like he was giving you hidden gems that you didn't notice it until the end of the movie, or if you even paid any attention. Like when he was giving him the tour of the house, when he was like, "Yo, like this is my dad." He was like, "My dad would have been in that Olympics, at Berlin Olympics, where Hitler was there, but he ended up losing to Jesse Owens and didn't make it." And then I forgot how he worded it. Oh, he was just like, and he never got over it type of thing.
Yeah.
Like that was a gem. Like if you never seen the movie, you don't get it. Right. But then when you look at the groundskeeper, you know what I'm saying? The whole scene,
Walter.
When Walter was running towards him when he was standing outside, you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about it. And like his whole, and I think that was the whole thing that kicked us off. Because see, everybody, well, not everybody, because some people probably got it. This shit didn't start with Dean. This shit started with Dean's grandfather. When his grandfather got beat by Jesse Owens, he was like, "Yo, this is an unfair advantage. So the only way that I could be fast and this and that is I have to be black."
Yep.
And I think that the whole shit started with the grandfather of like, "Yo, like this is the way that I could do it." And then like when they and then he tried to do the whole thing of like when he was walking with Chris, and he was like, "Yo, I know what you're thinking." He was like, "What you mean?" He was like, black groundskeeper, black help. He was like, they was here to care for my mother, and I just couldn't bear to fire them, so I just kept them on and all this type shit like that. And when you Chris, you have to play along. You can't be like, "Nah, man, that's bullshit, man. Like you walking around here, got them looking like slave owners." Like you can't say what you want to say. So Chris just kind of have to go along with it. And then the whole thing of I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could have.
That's the shit I'm talking about right there. Like you trying to be cool. Sir, I don't give a fuck who you vote for. I'm boning your daughter. I don't care who you vote for. You could vote for the Martian man that lands in the next century. I don't care. I got one up on you.
Yeah, he said, best president of my lifetime. And, and I just feel like when you go into the whole Obama conversation, it's like you're kind of overdoing it, man. Like you're trying to be something that you're not. Like
exactly.
You're trying to justify that you're not racist. I feel like that's what that whole thing was. And also like the whole scene of like they were giving you little gems when the whole party had came. And they're like, one guy's like, "Yo, black is in." You know what I mean? Like black is cool. And there's one lady filling them up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Checking out his butt. Like, the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're not thinking about it. And well, some people are not thinking about it, but it's like, yo, like, she's filling me up and like people asking me what the black experience is like and all this type of shit. It's like, the fuck? Like, what's
but
wrong
see, to me, I thought that was dope because the way that they shot that particular scene, I don't know why I said that like that. The way they shot that particular scene, I said particular. The way they shot that particular scene was interesting because it resembled like a slave auction. You know what I'm saying? You had people coming up, basically checking out the merchandise and everything else. And then they went on to later basically show like a auction. You know what I'm saying? Like they was auctioning them off. And even when, you know what I'm saying, he had the interaction with LaKeith Stanfield. And, you know what I'm saying, he would, you know what I'm saying, threw the fist out there and then he put the hand over it. You know, he was like, "My nigga, you all right? Like, what the fuck is it? Like, what is that?"
No,
like, you know what I'm saying?
No, the whole scene of when he was like, "Yo, it's great to see another brother here," and then the dude wife come up, he was like, "Oh, Chris was just telling me how it was great to see some, basically another black person here." You like, the fuck? Like, dude, this is supposed to be an inside thing. Like,
bro,
what are you doing?
That shit would throw me the fuck off. If you going for a dap and a nigga palm the, like I do it now as a joke because I think it's funny. Like anytime somebody do like that, I put my hand over it, like because of that movie. But like initially, if somebody was to do that to me, like in that type of setting, oh man, I know I'm in trouble.
No, I get that, but the whole thing of like throwing me under the bus in front of this white woman, that right there is like, yo, like there's like inside things, man, that like I think that some people just won't understand, and I'm not gonna get into it because you know what I'm saying. But I did just told y'all one gem right there. It's like if I'm the only black person in the room and I see another black person, I'm like,
we definitely got to talk.
And then I mention it to you, and you tell another white person, like, dude, like what is your problem? Like that right there told him, like, first of all, the whole outfit that he had on is like, yo, like this is weird. Like something is up with this guy.
That shit was crazy.
And like, you know, like he just knew, like, yo, like something's off. He was like, I know that dude, but it's just, you know, something's weird. So then, like that was one of the things that was very odd, man. And then like the whole term of like, I think what this movie have done, if this movie done anything, is it created a term.
Oh yeah,
that since 2017 came is dude, the sunken place,
and it's here to stay. It is here to stay.
That term is not going anywhere. Like this is the one thing that's going to get people like when our kids get older and somebody say the sunken place, it's like, hey, I'll get that from. Get out. Yeah. Like this movie is going to be one of those movies that's going to be like really going to pass the test of time because just one term can get you to watch it, you know, and then seeing the sunken place. And I think that of all the things, that right there is what make this movie a horror movie.
Yeah.
That now, I like the killing scenes. I like the way that he killed everybody. But that right there is, to me, I don't know for you, but for me, that's the scariest part. Because if you could just sit back and really imagine that you are in this sunken place looking out of your own eyes and somebody else is controlling your body, speaking for you and all this shit, and you have to watch everything that they're doing and you can't say nothing. Your self-conscious is just there. And it's like that right there, that is fucking frightening. I don't even use that word. I don't even think I've ever said frightening before in a sentence.
Hey, but no, you're right though.
That is frightening to sit back and like to just watch somebody in your body, and you can only see from your eyes, their eyes, however you want to say it. And then, that is, man, listen, that is some scary fucking shit.
What's even more dope though was that, you know what I'm saying, he took another trope from slavery, and I hate to say the word trope because it's not, well, I guess it is. That's the best word I could use for lack of a better term. And he used the master's wife. You know what I'm saying? That's to me who Missy was. She was basically the master's wife. Like, you know, a lot of times when if you guys ever get a chance, I forgot what the book is called, but it's a book out there. You gotta Google it. It ain't gonna be hard to Google some shit. But it's a book where they talk about the white women of slavery. And how, you know what I'm saying, the master's wives were sometimes the most harsh on all the slaves. You know what I'm saying? Even when the master wasn't as harsh, you know what I'm saying, she would be, you know, like the one that was getting them beat and doing all kind of shit, getting them killed, you know, just a bunch of different shit. And to me, that's who Missy represented in this movie because she was the one that was basically in control of everything. She seemed like, you know what I'm saying, she was the leader of the fucking ring. You know what I'm saying? Hypnotizing Chris and getting him to talk about shit that he didn't want to talk about, making him feel uncomfortable. And then in the whole midst of doing all that, she was calm about the shit. That was, to me, you saying the scariest part was, you know what I'm saying, seeing outside. No, the scariest part is being one-on-one with this white woman who can hypnotize the shit out of you and make you do whatever the fuck she wants you to. Like, to me, that was the horror part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like, being hypnotized is one thing, but being hypnotized by a motherfucker who don't like you because of the color of your skin is something totally different. You know what I'm saying? And you trusting in this person in good faith because, you know what I'm saying, you here with her daughter, come to find out, you know, this shit was a whole setup. So, yeah, for me, that was the scariest part of the movie when they sat down and she started, you know, twirling that spoon, bro. I'm like, yeah, fuck that, bro. I'm not sitting down with no white woman drinking shit.
That's funny.
If a movie made, I already didn't trust white women. I rarely trust white people. I don't never trust white women. So if a movie really made me not fuck with white women, this was it, bro. Like, that shit. Like, white women are cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, we can hang out at a bar or some shit, but like on some one-on-one shit or like we going somewhere, nah. Fuck that. I ride with everybody else. I'll meet y'all there, but we not doing that shit. I'm not being caught with no white woman, bro. I can't do it.
This dude is stupid. Speaking of hypnotized, man, at some point, man, we gotta do Stir Echoes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was kind of like the ringlet because really, she's really the key piece of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though the idea, like I said earlier, I believe it came from the grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what they was trying to figure out was, how do we get this to work? Like, I think that they kept, this is just my opinion, it kept being failed attempts. Like, I think that, you know, probably there was always something missing. Like, you know, it don't work the way it's supposed to work. Like, we're doing the whole brain thing, but something's not working. And with them figuring out that there's one piece of the brain that has to be left behind. And that's the whole point of the sunken place part. So she has to hypnotize you to where when she stirs the cup thing, that is the one thing that puts you out. And all you have to do is be into the sunken place one time to where she got you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how the whole thing works. So she's really like the biggest key piece of all of this. Everything else can be interchanged.
Yeah.
Like, you can get another brain surgeon. You can get another daughter to do this shit. Now don't get me wrong. Allison Williams, she cool. She cool. I felt that is a recastable. They needed somebody else to play that part. Cause
like, they could have got like Megan Fox and did that shit.
Yeah, she don't fit the description.
Well, the to me, I thought it was dope because, you know what I'm saying, for what it is, she pretty average. Yeah. And, you know what I'm saying? Daniel Kaluuya is a pretty average looking dude. So, like, that was a believable couple. Like, if he showed up in that motherfucker with Jennifer Aniston, you'd have been like, hold on, this nigga got some money or something. Ain't no way that white woman. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't even have a driver's license, guy. Dude, he said I have an ID.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's my point. So I'm saying, like, to deal with her, like, you could tell, like, she just was. I mean, we find out in the end anyway that she was a no good dirtball scumbag. But you know what I'm saying? Just in general, like, he looked like he could have pulled something that looked like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, man, like, she was definitely the key piece of all of this, and I like the way that she got killed. She got the solid kill. You know what I mean? And that was the way that they did the kill scenes was dope. But I like the whole backstory of Chris. You know, dad not being in the picture, mother died in a car accident. You know how he was stuck and how he was very uncomfortable talking about it. And you know, for her to sit down and kind of force this out of him, and then he has to have a conversation with the daughter with what's her motherfucking name? Rose had to have that conversation with Rose. Yo, another scene that got me. Tell me, I gotta ask you this, man. So after he discovered, because she made it seem like he was the only black person that she ever fucked with, right? And
so he sees the door open, goes over and discovers, you see all these pictures of all these black dudes. And then he saw the groundskeeper, and he saw what's her name? The lady that was the grandma,
Georgina.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, to me at that point, I know you've been with her for 4 months, my guy. Fuck them keys. Fuck you. I'm walking until I can find something. And like that whole scene of like, yo, like you got the keys. She was like, oh, they in here somewhere. Well, let's move. And like he finally lost his cool because he tried to play it cool. Like, Rose, got those keys? Rose, got the keys? Rose, keys! I was like, yeah. And it's like, yo, she's not giving you the fucking keys, yo. Like, you just saw it,
my nigga.
You just saw the evidence. Like, she told you you was like her first black boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You see all these pictures of her with these black dudes. One that you see outside that ain't normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like when he was like, come on. He said when he was talking to him outside and just, man, I had all this shit in my head. I had it all ready for y'all now and I forgot what it was. But just how proper he talked and he's using terms from the 60s, my guy. Like, come on. Like, it's something odd about this shit. And he knew it was something odd about it.
Nigga had on a straw hat, man.
No, I'm talking about the dude that was Walter.
Oh, you talking about the groundskeeper?
Yeah, it's like, yo, listen to what he's saying. He's using just weird ass terms from the 30s. Like, come on. And it's just for him to think that she's gonna give you the keys, like you had to know at this point that she was in on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing. And I think that maybe he was just in disbelief of like, nah, like you didn't do this.
Nah, fuck that. Listen, if her family in on it, she in on it. She just as guilty. You can't be sitting around waiting for somebody to reveal themselves.
Yeah, man. And look, we've gone a long time, man, but we got to get in the ride, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Rod is the smart friend that's, trying to give him the real Christian want to hear. He told him from the jump, don't go out there, don't do it. He went anyway.
At least take me with you, man. Damn, like you can't just be out there with a bunch of white folks by yourself, bro.
But nah, man. Listen though, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Detective Latoya didn't have to do him like that though, because he's sitting there telling the story, and she gives him the disbelief face, and so then she brings in the other cops, and now he's in it now.
Mm-hmm.
He's all animated telling the story. Like, he told the story nervously the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time, he's in it. And then they just bust out laughing. And she was like, no, don't say I never do nothing for you. Like, come on, man. Like, hey, yo, that shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. But, yeah, he's the smart friend that's trying to look out for his boy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the thing that you got to be a good friend to come up with that story, because you have to know going into it, they gonna think I'm fucking nuts. But this shit sounds crazy.
That shit sounds like some Invasion of the Body Snatchers type shit.
Exactly. Like, imagine you going into some cops telling that story to somebody.
Yeah, they think you was crazy.
Dude, they locking you up.
It's just one of those things, like, he was the friend that was just like, you know what they say about them, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just smart about everything that he was doing, man. You can't have your boy out here just lacking like that. And he, you could tell he didn't want his boy out there like that. Unfortunately, he did anyway. He went out there and almost got himself transplanted. But, my man Rod came in and saved the day. You know what I'm saying? You never mess with TSA, man.
This is true, man. Shout out to Rod, man. Like, everybody needs a friend like Rod.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna give you the real, that actually care about you, babysit your dog, while you out of town and all that type of shit. But yeah, like I said in the beginning of the movie, I just feel that you have to be from a certain breed to understand how this is a horror movie.
Right.
It's not your typical horror movie that you see. Even though, you know what I'm saying, this is a Blumhouse film. Like Jason Blum was one of the producers on this shit. So I think even he saw the vision to even back this shit because
you're right.
And then cause I noticed it when I watched it last night because you know when you watch Us and other shit, it do the whole spoon thing. And like he even took that shit to a whole new level.
Yeah.
You know, that's his tagline when he do the I think is it Monkey Paw? Is that what it is?
Oh, yes, at Blumhouse. Yeah, it is Monkey Paw.
Yeah, like the whole Monkey Paw. Like he didn't do it in this one because it was his first film.
Right.
But now, you know what I'm saying, this one had so much success. Now you come up with the whole Monkey Paw thing. And it's just shit, man. I don't even look at teacups to say. You know what I mean?
Fuck no, I don't look at tea to say. I ain't drunk tea since this movie came out. Fuck that. I've been drinking water.
This dude is stupid. Nah, I'm still on the tea, but yeah, man. Like I just, it's a very underrated movie, and that's another thing, man. You know, he come out the box like all his movies are just odd. Yeah. You know, he got the Nope coming out soon. You know, Daniel Kaluuya again.
Yeah, Us.
He wasn't in Us though. Daniel Kaluuya wasn't in Us, but he has a thing where, you know what I'm saying, he fucks with him. He fucks with LaKeith Stanfield. So this is another one of those things where you have that director actor thing. So that's going to be cool to see how that relationship develop. You know what I'm saying? And it keeps going on and on and on. So I think that's something to see because even the scene, man, like Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
Like even that scene when he was sitting in that chair, man, he was talking about his mom and just the other stuff of like how he would just, I don't know, man. It's just like he is really a good fucking actor, man. Like, and I'm
gonna tell you how good of an actor he is. When he was in Black Panther and he was doing the African accent, I forgot this nigga was an immigrant. It was a British immigrant.
Yeah.
So I know he knows how to do the accent, but in my head I was like, damn, he doing a real good motherfucking accent. But then I keep forgetting. I'm like, wait a minute, no, this motherfucker is British. Like his people moved to Britain from Africa. So yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, I was just sitting there like, man, like this nigga is pretty good.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jordan Peele. Shout out to Jason Blum, man, for even backing this film. You know, like because when everybody heard that it was gonna be that he was doing a horror movie, they was like, this dude is a fucking comedian. Like what he knows about horror. I remember those talks, like before this movie came out, where people was like, I don't know if I trust him doing a horror film.
For sure.
And the way that he flipped it, because he really gave you like his own genre of horror. Like this is just a different type of horror movie, but it's a horror movie for a certain demographic.
Yep.
So I thought that was dope. And then how people tried to kill him because they was like he's married to a white woman and he's trying to do like black films and all that type of shit.
I mean, he would know better than anybody would get out would be about the end if he was married to a white woman, right?
You know what I mean? Like my whole thing, like
for research purposes, who knows?
Like look, we don't know. But like I used to be in the middle of that, man, of that whole thing of like you can't do a no black shit because you date or married to a white woman. Like I've been through that shit. And it's just like, listen, to be honest with you, I probably know more black shit than you do, but you just think, you know what I'm saying, reading the book by its cover just because things went down the way that they went down. But I ain't mad at this film though, man. Like I think he came out with a classic, man. Now honestly, personally, I don't think he's matched this movie yet. Us was good.
I agree with
but you know, we'll see. He got Nope coming out soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, with Kiki Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya. So we getting into the rating system, man. Fire Flame Time. What do you give this movie?
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm not really mad at it. It's not really any criticisms. It's just more of like, I think she's good, but I felt that they could have used somebody else other than Allison Williams. That's the one thing. But I'm not. I guess because when it comes to Get Out, it really isn't a movie that I just like watch on demand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those movies that I honestly I kind of forget about it sometimes. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of giving it a 4 and not a 4.5, because it's not something that I watch a lot. So that's why I'm really giving it a 4.
Well, for me, man, I'm giving it a 5. Can't lie. Not only is, you know what I'm saying, not only is it a great movie to me, the underlying messages, and on top of, you know what I'm saying, the surface messages, you know what I'm saying, it was a lot of good stuff in this movie. And, you know what I'm saying, like I said, it's relatable to us, but it's a movie for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things, like, if you have, like I said, it's multiple scenarios in this movie that you can relate to. And if you've been in any of them, you know what I'm saying, you understand the sensitivity of all of that. Whether you dated a black woman or whether you dealt with, you know what I'm saying, the aggressive white dude, whether you dealt with the passive white dude, you know, whether you dealt with the sarcastic, you know what I'm saying, the sarcastic white lady, you know what I mean, whether you've been, you know what I'm saying, at a white party and they're all watching you, they got their eyes on you, or, you know what I'm saying, when they was touching on them and stuff like that, you know, that could relate to black women's, you know, black women telling people not to touch their hair, you know, just all kind of different things that can be touched upon in this movie. And I thought that it was, you know what I'm saying, a very clever way of putting all that together. So I'm giving it a 5.
I ain't mad at it, man. Mad at it all. It really, you know what I'm saying? He started his own thing.
Yes, indeed, man. So coming soon, man. Next episode, we got 2067. Now, this was a movie that I had recently watched not too long ago, and I thought it was super dope. Coming off of the what's the movie with the Project Adam movie? Yeah. Coming off of the Project Adam movie, talking about time travel and everything else. 2067 revolves around the same concept. It's about time travel, but this time it's not about going back to saving yourself. This one is going forward, and trying to save the planet Earth. And it's very interesting how they put this movie together. It's on Hulu. You can check it out. You guys can go watch it before the episode comes out. That way, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of keep up with everything that's going on. So we're going to cover that. 2067. It's on Hulu. That's the next episode. And if you guys like what you heard today, if you guys like what you heard on any of the episodes, or if it's the complete total opposite, you can always hit us up via socials on Instagram and Twitter at ViewAnonPod. You can also hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. And to follow me, go to Twitter at Scoots Bronson. Hit that Linktree link in there. You can follow me everywhere else.
Yes, sir. Y'all can find me at excuse me, at S.Foster8. That's on Instagram and Twitter. At 28 Minutes or Less Pod. That's on IG. Still rocking with episode 84 of the 28 Minutes or Less. Excuse me. That was the Ozark episode. Season 4 episode. What? No. Damn. Season 4, part 2.
Part 2. Yeah.
Of Ozark. So go check that out. Let me know what y'all think of it. And that's all I got for today, man.
For sure. Also, if y'all have not watched Ozark, like me, you could listen to this and you could also talk to the people that have watched Ozark, and they'll never know. That's how great these episodes are. So y'all go check out my guy on 28 Minutes or Less. He giving you the breakdowns. He giving you some, you know what I'm saying, behind the scene points that you could use and bring up in conversation to make it seem as if you are just as much of an Ozark fan as the next person. Very helpful. Very helpful.
Appreciate
it. For sure. Because I told you, bro, that's what I did. I told you last episode, that's what I did. I listened to that first part. I was like, man, Ozark is crazy, right? And I was like, yeah. And I was using all the shit you were talking about. They was like, man, yeah, I can't wait for the second part to come out. I'm like, man, me neither. Like, man. I watched like the first 3 episodes of the first season, and that was a wrap. I could not get into it. But yeah, man. Listen, thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's all greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Without you guys, this would be just another episode in the wind. But until next time, man, like they tell you in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.